Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are we all doing? I hope everyone is doing super, super good today. It is Wednesday here at Hot 702.5 FM. You are with Two of a Kind. It is Elisa Lane, as you as you know, and we are going to be having Marquand joining us on live stream very, very, very soon. So of course, we have to start every single show the same way, and we need to hear about our week. So I will go ahead and start with my week. So my week was actually really, really good. Today, I just got an office at the college. So I'm feeling super official. I'm excited to decorate it and put all the dental hygiene stuff all over the walls and teeth and everything. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm looking forward to the end of this month because my mom is coming to visit. I'm very, very excited about that. Also, I have a whole bunch of future dental assistants that are going to be headed out into their externship in the next couple of weeks, and so we're just preparing for finals. And yeah, that's basically what's been going on for me. I hope everyone has been having an amazing week, and I hope it's been fulfilling, if not fulfilling, at least productive. But as for how the week has been in Vegas. I hate to be a downer so quickly after such good vibes, but unfortunately we have lost a life out here in Vegas. Condolences to the family of Amari Nicholson, sans his mother and father for obvious reasons. It's just kind of sad, and it's just disheartening. It's one of those I hate it here moments when you hear things like that. Children are one of the most vulnerable, helpless things, out here. And so to hear that their trust is taken advantage of by, people who are supposed to love and take care of them, it just hits in a very, very painful way, especially being a teacher myself. Whose job and responsibility it is to take care of and protect children. To hear that the parents are the one that did this to him, especially over something as trivial as him peeing on himself, which is actually that is the level for a 2-year-old to be at mentally, is to not remember that they need to go to the bathroom. It's actually the only beginning stages of potty training. So actually having a degree in early childhood education, it, it it just stings. It stings because you actually know the developmental level of a 2-year-old, and it's peeing themselves. It's like the beginning stages most of the time. Um, Cognitively speaking, children learn to be potty trained between 3 and 5 years old. So the fact that he was beaten for wetting himself at 2, uh, it's incredibly trivial and frustrating. And in all honesty, they're using it as an excuse to cover up the fact that whoever did this is just sick. They're just you. You have to have mental disabilities to want to beat something so tiny and helpless. He was used as like a beating bag for whatever this guy was going through at the time, and he took it out on this child because there's no way that him peeing himself should have been to the extent that it was. I yeah, I think that there was a lot of conversations about the initial videos that came out. And we all have seen the YouTubes. We all have seen the documentaries of cold cases, John Benet Ramsey, all of these different forensic file type shows where they always show the family. And, I'm definitely not a pro. Is that something that I, have gone to school for? I don't have a degree when it comes to body language and when it comes to, what's another word? Nonverbal cues. I definitely don't have a degree in it, but if anyone gets an opportunity to watch the interview when they were claiming that their child was missing, you can definitely pick up on the nonverbal cues and the body language that something just isn't right. I'm not saying that they are liars. I'm not saying that they are, but you can look at them and see that something isn't right, almost as if they're making up the story as they go. It's very, it just, there's no cohesiveness about it. It doesn't look like they were on the same page. It honestly didn't look like the parents communicate with each other at all. There's just a lot of discrepancies. And so when it came out that that's not what happened, I was incredibly disappointed, because when a child is missing, I still get to hold on to the hope that they are okay and alive. So when it came out that I wasn't shocked, because like I said, something just wasn't right. But it was incredibly disheartening. And it's just it's the umpteenth number on my list as to why I'm turning more and more into a misanthrope. I hate people and I hate it here. But at the same time, I love people and I love it here. It's very, I'm conflicted, you guys. So I don't know what your opinions are on it, but I'd love to hear them. It's, yeah, it's sad. It's really, really sad. So again, condolences to the family, sans the mom and dad, like I said before. But either way, I think that the more, like, this is the one thing I will say about social media. With social media, the more people who are able to shine the light on these people and on these different situations, the better. I think that it's really important that we start using the platform for accountability, because when social media platforms are used the right way, they're actually incredibly strong. They're powerful and they can cause a lot of change. So I'm hoping that we do that in this instant as well, and start trying to use it to protect these children and advocate, and not just for children, but for those who have lesser than, those who don't have a voice, those who go unseen. I'm hoping that we can start using our platform more in that way. So another thing that I wanted to bring up today in discussion was the idea of the body and mouth connection. So I'm one of those people that tries to be preventative when I talk about like dental and healthcare. And one of the things that came up to me, or one of the people came up to me, one of my students came up to me and started talking to me about having high blood pressure and cholesterol and things like that. And we were talking about diabetes. And these things are very, it's a big issue. It's an issue that we really want to tackle within the Black community. And like I said, it's not just about being overweight. A lot of people attribute high blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes to being overweight. And in actuality, a lot of the times that's actually not the case. You can have diabetes and not be big. Same thing with having high cholesterol and high blood pressure. Especially with high blood pressure, there's a lot of variables. They can be stress induced. They can also be induced because of adrenaline. Let's say you're working out. If you take your blood pressure right after you work out, it'll be a lot higher than if you take it when you just wake up in the morning. Caffeine, epinephrine, and other, things like that can actually rev up your blood pressure, making it higher. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to people about, because it came up on more than one occasion, there is this idea, especially, like I said, within the Black community, that there is this like subconscious, like unbeknownst stigma when it comes to the dentist. And I had a conversation with my grandma, because y'all know me, I go down a rabbit hole, and I went down this rabbit hole of research, and I spoke with my grandmother, and she let me know that when she was a kid, she did not go to the dentist. She actually had to go to a veterinary hospital, like an animal hospital. And that's where they would get her teeth extracted and things like that, because Black people were still not allowed in dental offices. So we had to actually go where the horses and dogs get taken care of, like cattle. to be taken care of when it comes to dentistry. On top of that, in dentistry, there is a stereotype that I learned from one of my doctors. Shout out to Dr. Pham for all his help, Dr. John for all his help. They let me know that there is a stereotype, a stigma that they are wanting to break, that people of color, specifically Black people, have a higher pain threshold. And I know that this came up in medical facilities. This has definitely come up in medical facilities where people of color, specifically Black people, are not treated with as much fragile love, tenderness type care as other people, because they also believe that we have a higher pain threshold. And for people that don't know what that means, it's basically saying that because we are Black, we can take more pain. So one of the things that tends to happen, especially in the dental office, especially in the past, a lot of people of color were getting work done with no numbing. They weren't numbing us. They weren't numbing our mouths at all, because we can take it. Black people can take it. We can take the pain. We can take the pressure. It's okay. Hey, it's Icarice. What's going on? And shout out to my sister. Thank you for the congratulations. Um, yes, I'm really excited to have my own office. Anybody that wants to get me plants for my office, like, I would love it. Let's do succubus. I'm kind of going for a desert theme. All right, that's my tangent for the day. Back to what I was talking about. So this has come up in conversation in my classroom. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it as well, because we talk a lot about medical and we talk a lot about mental, but we don't talk about dental hygiene. And we want to understand the mouth and body connection. There is a connection between our mouth and our body, and it's something that we have to acknowledge. The body, or our mouth, is the first entryway for everything that goes inside of us, right? It's our main entry point. What we put into our body is then broken down so that the parts that we use, like the nutrients and things that help us pump blood or oxygenate our blood, we separate that from all of the waste, the stuff that we don't need, which then goes through a filter, goes down into our small intestine, then into our large intestine, and then, of course, we defecate. Everyone knows what that means. We use the bathroom, right? Full cycle. But what people don't understand is that if we are not in the mindset of having preventative dental care, what is in our mouth, we could be swallowing down with our saliva and our food, or with liquids that we drink, in tiny microscopic increments over time. So for instance, I have some people that haven't been to the dentist since they were a kid. Some of them have great natural teeth, dense, firm enamel. So they're not having any pain. They're not having any sensitivity. So they don't go to the dentist. And it's been like over a decade. For a lot of people, it's been like more than 10 years since they've been in a dental office. Well, plaque turns into tartar. Another word for tartar is calculus. And calculus is hard deposits of plaque that are stuck to your teeth like cement. Once it becomes tartar or calculus, you can no longer take it off your teeth with just a toothbrush. You actually have to scrape it off. It's stuck on your teeth like cement. And so a lot of people are needing a deep cleaning, and they don't know that they're needing a deep cleaning. So if you have calculus on your teeth or any kind of hard deposits on your teeth, you can go ahead and assume that it's also below the gum line. So what a lot of people don't know is that your teeth are actually sitting in bone. The gums are covering that bone. All right. So there are what's called your gingival sulcus, which are actually pockets. They're pocket areas around each and every tooth. And that is where the calculus actually goes first. And then from there, you see it above the gum line. So it's subgingival, then it becomes supragingival, where you can visibly see it in the mouth. If you can visibly see it in the mouth, especially your lower anterior teeth, which are your front teeth on the bottom, check the back of your front teeth. The bottom front teeth, check the back of them. Anything that looks yellowy in color and it's stuck on hard, go ahead and make yourself an appointment. What you need is called SRPs, which stands for scaling and root planing. You need a deep subgingival cleaning, and you need an antimicrobial rinse. We call it chlorhexidine, that you rinse with your mouth to get out anything. And it's also an antibiotic to help stop you from eating and swallowing small increments of bacteria, also known as Materia alba, which can have food that has caked on from over a decade ago that you're still swallowing in small increments. A lot of the time, after people get deep cleaning, they have lower cholesterol, they have lower blood pressure, they have lower diabetes. And what people don't know is a lot of that infection, a lot of the bacteria, they're actually swallowing down. One of the first things that I teach the students is microbiology. And so a lot of the bacteria that we have in our mouth, if they were to join up together, they could be different things. Okay, so even if it's something like streptococci, so if you have two cocci, which is your like your chain link one, then for sure, if they touch each other, they become strep throat just that quickly. So it's just something to think of and keep in the back of your mind. 1 second, I want to respond here to someone. Marquand says he is trying to join. All right. So Marquand should be joining us in just a second. He's going to be live from home. So hopefully we can get him on in just a second. Another thing that I wanted to talk with you guys about was the reopening of Las Vegas. So apparently, as of June 1st, 2021, there's actually a couple stipulations. So let me clarify. Because some people are saying we'll be at 80%, while others are saying we will be full-blown opening, reopening Las Vegas. Okay. And that's for May. So it looks like we will be at 80% June 1st, and we will only need to keep 3 feet of distance. Now, there was a lot of conversations about this. And for myself, I'm a frontline worker. I work in the dental medical field. So nothing has really changed for me. I am always in proper PPE while I'm in the office. And I always have a whole bunch of like face shields, like all that stuff, right? But we work with people who don't have masks on. They come in to get a teeth cleaning and they can't have a mask on for that. And so my idea, when I know about how like cross contamination happens, about inhalants, and I know about air droplets, especially when you know that even in a ventilated area, it takes about 12 hours for, let's say someone sneezed in the air. It takes approximately 12 hours in that ventilated space for all of the microscopic droplets of that sneeze to dissipate from the room. Okay. So when you're thinking about working at a college, working at schools and things like that, there's no such thing as 80%. Like when it comes to reopening. Hey,
Hello.
what's
Can
going
you hear me?
on? Hey, it's
Hey,
great to
can you hear
see
me?
you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
good
can
to
hear
see
you.
you as well. Yeah, I had to use my new laptop. My old one is just giving me problems, so
Oh,
it took me a minute to set it up.
yeah, just cuz. So I was just talking to everyone about the fact that we are supposed to be basically at 80% starting June 1st and 3 feet apart. And I was just talking about how there's no such thing as 80%. Like
Yeah,
there's no
and not in
like
this
who's
situation.
who's going to check to make sure that no one does the extra 20%? Like what does that even look like in a club setting? Like
That
like I
they're gonna
just
have
don't
20% of
understand
the
shit
club
like that.
blocked off. They're gonna have it
Because
taped
you're
off.
literally saying you can't have 100 people, but 80 is cool. Like if we were doing math, like even with an estimate, you'd round up to 100. You just
It'll be it. True,
if you're at
but
80, just go to 100. But now
but
all of a
you know
sudden everyone's like, no, like you
they think
guys
80 is 100.
really,
That's
if
why
we
they think
if we
80 is
want to
good
be
enough.
at 100%, we have to make sure that we're like properly, that we're doing everything right. And so it's not 6 feet apart. Now it's 3 feet apart.
Have you ever? Do you know those kids in school, the ones or people in general? They do just enough to get by. That's what that 80% means. That's what that means. That someone's doing enough just to get by. That way it looks good, but it doesn't look like they ain't trying at all. That's exactly
Right.
what's happening with it.
Basically, what they saying is, anytime somebody from the CDC come in, I need 4 people to just duck down.
Exactly.
All the
That's exactly
bartenders.
what. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? They say at the end of the day, hey, look, y'all just keep a lookout. We know D-boy ain't supposed to be here, but if you see him, he better
Right.
not
I'm
see
like,
you.
what's 3 feet? Is that like an arm's length? Or like, I guess my arms are about 2 feet. I don't know. That's,
I guess half the distance it was before.
you can't, like, I just don't feel like when it comes to pandemics and people, like, percentages just don't work like that. Like, we have to be quarantined. And then once it dies down, then we come back out. Like, there's no, like, well, let's do 20. Okay, guys, 20% capacity. Now we'll do 40, guys,
Or,
40%. That's
or they're
it.
like,
Like,
they're like, well, we know Michael may have it, but we gonna make him stand in the corner while we all partying. That way, he won't be around anybody else.
right. I'm like, well, and you know what's interesting too? Then there's the idea of you needing to be vaccinated in order to travel, and you needing to be vaccinated in order to, like, go anywhere or do anything really. But
Yeah,
I was hearing that people are making fake vaccine forms. Well,
people are
of
doing
course
fake.
they're making fake vaccine forms.
You know that what was that movie? Wally. Wally.
Yes.
I feel like that's what it's turning into.
Hmm.
Just like
For
that.
sure. And
Everyone's quarantined off,
I just
and
think it's really hilarious. It's like we're trying not to die and people are pretending that they got vaccinated. Like, oh my, like, do you not get the blood? Like, in all honesty, if God was to just like snap his fingers, I'd be like, yo, I get it. I get it. We got
I
people like
understand at
faking
this point.
vaccines. Like, he's like, what happened to help those that help themselves? He's like, guys, it's written in red in my book. Like, how did we
it's
miss this part? Like, you have to actually try to stay alive yourself.
And it's so funny because survival is really the only trait every human being has in common, right? That's the only trait every human being has in common. But for some reason, they feel like that survival means survive with just me on my own.
Right.
It's me survive, selfish. No, you don't have to be that way when it comes to survival. You can partner up with teams. People have watched, what was that, The Walking Dead, and all of these shows where they team up because it's the end of the world. Like, whatever the case may be, people know how to be a team. They choose not to be a
They
team.
choose
They
not.
choose to
And
be
the thing
selfish.
about it is, it's like even when you look at animals, they understand that there's strength
Yeah,
in numbers. They even
facts.
get that it's strength in like you don't want to be the wolf in the back that's walking by himself. You don't want to be the wounded animal because they get left behind. And then when you're behind and you're
Yeah.
alone, what happens? You become food.
And that's
Like
crazy because
it
that's how
seems
wolf
like
packs are.
right. Like they may have not like
Yeah, like
okay,
the
shout out
leader
to
of the pack is
animals.
like at
I
the
know that you
very
guys didn't
end.
get like fashion and like walking on two legs together is great, but they really got the camaraderie down. Like they
Yeah.
got that part together.
Yeah, when
Like
I tell y'all, when it comes to teamwork, I give it to the wolves. They know exactly what they doing because
so
they
I
leave
wanted
in the
to update
packs.
you.
Oh,
No,
go ahead.
finish what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying in packs they keep it to where I know the hurt, like the hurt is well, the elders are first, then the hurt and injured. You know what I mean? And then
Hmm.
the king of the pack is always, or the leader of the pack is always at the end to watch everybody and make sure everything is good, you know. But the
Yep,
elders is
yep.
different in front in case anybody attacks. They the first to go because they're already the older ones. You know what I mean? So it's
Heck
pretty cool
yeah.
how they do teamwork on that. They got that figured out. We need to do the same way,
No,
man. You
I was
know.
gonna say, I'm like, in all honesty, that used to be my dad. He used to always be like, "I'll take up the rear. You guys go ahead. I'll make sure we're all locked up." And I'm like, okay, And
Yeah,
now it
they
makes sense. It's like, all right, head honcho,
yeah,
make sure everybody else is in the house. Then I'll go lock the
exactly.
car, and
Yeah, we were just out of town
I'll situate all that.
over the weekend, and I did it every time we went somewhere. I was always walking behind everybody, and they was just like, "Why?"
Hmm.
Because I gotta, make sure y'all all right. I gotta just make sure I can see everybody. So
Well,
it was
let's
just,
segue into how was your week?
oh my goodness, my week was amazing.
Yay!
So, well, first of all, my weekend started off frustrating and just a lot, right? So, my mom's birthday was Sunday, as well as Mother's Day.
Happy
So
birthday and happy Madre Day to your mama.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we ended up doing a Thomas family vacation. So she was saying she was going to California. So me and the wife and kids, we packed up and we went to California as well. You
Aw.
know, Friday I was trying to find a rental car. The one I had, literally the rental car inside the Cosmo. They scheduled my rental for 3, but they closed at 3. So that was just kind of like strike one. I got there like 2:45. Nobody was there, and they still didn't give me a rental. So whatever. I had to go get another one. I finally went through the hoops and ladders to get a rental car, and I finally felt great after we just got on the road and we hit state line. That's when I felt
Right,
relaxed and good to go. But we
right.
got to California. We were out there for a weekend, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. We all went to the beach. We went out to eat a couple times, and we just went to the mall, hung out as a family. Everybody got new shoes.
Yeah.
Like it was so
I
fun to
can't
have that
even remember a
experience.
family trip. It's been
Like
so long.
you know what I mean? Like for one,
Hmm.
it felt great to me because as a dad, as a father, I was able to take my entire family, out of town, and we were able to have fun. We had no worries, no concerns. So it's like everything I wanted growing up, I'm able to do with my kids now. So it feels even better. For the fact is that it was literally my entire family. We all picked up and went out of town, and it was just a great
That's
trip
what I'm
for
talking
us. So my kids, my son, his second time being to the beach with my daughters. That was their first time. I got to go with all of us going together. That was the first time, and we went as a family. Nobody had a driver, so we had to go with nobody. We did it as a whole. So we were just excited, and we said we can't wait for the next one, next road trip.
I
Cause
was gonna say, I'm like, and it also kind of inspires you to do more
oh
and
yeah,
like plan more because it's the same with my family. Like all of the elders who used to really organize all the trips have either passed on or they're too old. And so
uh,
now my sister and I, we kind of sat down and had the realization like it's us, like the
we
30
had to start.
somethings.
Yep,
Like we're the ones that are supposed to be putting the Yosemite trips together and the Venice Beach trips on.
yep.
And so I'm like, oh snap. Okay, so what does that mean? Because even up until I was in my 20s, I was just hopping in the giant like 8+ Renovan and heading to the
Oh,
Airbnb and like picking my room and like
we
finding,
did.
you know what I mean? And
We
so
did
it's
have a
like now it's
minivan,
like
by the
I'm the
way.
one that has to do that. Okay. So my sister's like, let me look at cabins. Like, how
And a
many
piece
of
of
us is
advice:
it?
once you get 3 kids, you have to get a minivan to go out of town. A regular SUV or regular car just won't do it. It's not enough room. It's
I
not enough.
listen.
But I'll
I
tell you
don't
what,
ever
it
want
made
3
me.
children. I'm just kidding.
I want more, so you know what I mean. Don't mind
Listen,
me though.
listen. I'm only
But
going
it
through
made
pregnancy once. If I have children after that, they'll be adopted. But
it
Quan,
definitely made
I
me.
have been really thinking about it. I know I'm not gonna be a person. I'm too realistic to like pregnancy. I'm not
I,
gonna be at Disney camp. I'm gonna be
I
like my ankles
understand.
are swollen. I'm hot.
Yeah. See, I
I'm
I
fucking
was
sweaty. My titties are big. My feet hurt. I can't
yeah. I
lay
just
on my
always
side.
wanted
I
a
can't lay
family.
on my back. I can't lay on my stomach. How am I
You
supposed to
sound like
sleep? Like
you sound like Diamond when I keep saying I want another kid. You ain't gotta be pregnant. I do.
I'm like
You
it's
ain't
just
gotta be pregnant. I do. I gotta go through those nights. I gotta go through that uncomfortable sleeping and look.
I've had swollen ankles one time, and it was my first time going to Disneyland with my ex's family, and they had us like walking. We was like there the whole day, just walking around, walking around. That was the first time I had swollen ankles, and I remember my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, wait till you get pregnant." And I remember, I will never forget the feeling of them swollen ankles. When I tell you I'm not looking forward to being pregnant, like I'm not. It's all for the baby. Like, but after that, I'm gonna be like, let's adopt. It's a lot of children out here that need awesome homes. Like, let's adopt. I already know I'm
I,
gonna be over
I,
it. I'm gonna be over it. I'm like, this is great. When do
and
these
I
come
brought up
out?
adoption. I actually brought up adoption, but even that's too much because I'm like, I want one as a baby. I want to adopt it when they were, young infants. So it ain't really no confusion. It ain't no talk back. It ain't no, you're not my real.
Exactly.
You know
I
what I
was
mean?
gonna
It's not all of
say,
that.
I would definitely like that situation where like no older than like 2. Like that's
Um,
the oldest.
I wouldn't say no more than 7, 8 months, maybe a year max. I wouldn't get them any
Hmm.
older than that, unless it was one of those things where I kind of was like, like the foster parents. Shout out to them and how they do their thing. Unless it was one of them where I kind of had a group home, then at that point I wouldn't mind what age you give me because it's just like I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure I help and support these kids.
My
But if you're talking
mom
about,
did that for like people in high school, and that was very interesting to me too because it's like my mom like helped some people have a prom that they never thought they could have. Like
Yeah,
they
see.
still talk to my mom to this day because like my mom, you know, she had them for like their junior and senior year, you know, for the 2 years, like made sure they had their cap and gown. They played a sport. My mom out there clapping for them. They just had somebody rooting for them,
Yeah, and that's
and
all they need.
like one of them is a nurse now. Like she's gone to
Oh,
nursing. Like her family kicked her out of the house. My mom's like, "Come on, come on," and she was like our third sister, you know. And so it's like I always remember my mom doing that, and like just you know, sharing the love in that way, especially for someone who was about to be out of foster care, because you know, when they're 18,
yeah,
you know, they're
yeah.
out of there. So my mom being able to stay, like, she had a
With
place
that,
when she turned 18. And so she didn't feel like she had to rush out. And like I said, she's a nurse now, married, got a kid,
and you
you
see what
know?
differences that can make between, having a chance to actually do something versus having the chance to just get out and do it. That's why I don't want to kick my kids out at 18
Mm-hmm.
because
That I
that
told my
example
mom, I
right
was like, my
there.
mom never kicked me out. And I know that I was able to go to school and get my degrees and do all that stuff because I wasn't kicked out. There were a lot of my friends eating ramen, or they come over and eat food at my house because I was still at home, and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't have no food," and my mom would be like, "Tell them take this all this
No,
chicken,
no,
or let
no.
me buy them some KFC or something." You know, like
That's crazy. That's
I
how
want
my
to be
mom
that
used
kind
to
of
be.
parent.
You know what's so funny? My mom used to be like that, and then she got mad at herself for being like that because as we got into our teenage years, the house typically became the kicking spot. We were very popular kids around the neighborhood and stuff, so the house became the kicking spot. And after a while, she was just like, I got too many people in my house.
No, my
That's just
mom
how
had
we
to
was
put some
raised.
ground rules down. She was like, I don't like to come home and there be people in my house. Like,
Yeah,
if there's gonna be people, I want to know so that when I walk in and I think
I
I can kick my shoes off and throw my,
I know what's
bra
going
across
on.
the room, that I'm not gonna hit somebody in the face. Okay,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And then my mom didn't care as long as you didn't have the whole neighborhood in the house trying to have a party in the daytime. You know what I mean?
right,
Got the door open, swinging, people walking in with Kool-Aid or cups everywhere. As long as
right.
we ain't doing all that, she good. If you got about 3 or 4 people in the house and we just be chilling, playing the game or talking, whatever the case may be, she'd have been cool with that. But the minute we got over that limit cap of 3 or 4 people, oh yeah, it was what's going on? What is this? Oh, get them out of my house. Y'all already know.
See,
I ain't
our
trying to
thing was
do
the
this.
stoop. We used
The
to
stoop.
always sit on the stoop because my mama house got a stoop on it.
Mm,
And so we used to always sit on the stairs, sit on the stoop that's right in front of the screen door. And so we would sit out there. And so my mom, when she would be coming home and she would want to actually come in her front door, there'd be like six people trying to like scoot
stoop.
so she could walk. She'd be like, Move, move, can't get my own house. So like, so she used to always get mad, like, I'm tired of y'all sitting on my, every time I come, it's all these people get up, like, okay. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Oh, she had enough. She had enough. That was built up. You can tell that was built up. She done tripped over somebody one too many times. She done almost fell, almost broke her neck a few
Right.
times. Yeah, she was
Right.
done.
She'd be like, it'd be guys like sitting on the step and I'd be in a dress or something. I get up, make a move, get off that step. Like I was
Yeah.
like, okay, okay,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Because some people it wasn't about them getting there. You had some of those kids that was just little perverts. So the mama walking in the dress when she walking up the stairs,
Oh,
try to sneak their little head and peek under the
oh,
dress.
they used to tell me that my mom, like, even when my mom would come on campus, they'd be like, yo, mama here. Like all the dudes be like, hi, Miss Bryce. Hey, your mama on campus. Your mama here. Hey, your mama's so fine. I'm like, I swear to God, I'll knock your teeth out.
Yeah.
You
See, I
know,
was kind
they be
of
like, your mama got on the pantsuit. She a lawyer, right? Yeah. Oh, she be doing. Oh, yeah, she got the pantsuit on.
that's what's up.
I'm like, leave
See,
my mom
everybody
alone.
Everybody always looked at my mom as the cool big sister kind of thing, kind of look. Everybody, Mama Lisa is what they called her. Everybody called her Mama Lisa, so she had that one there. But we ain't never have to worry about people coming and crossing that line, which is great. As a man, knowing that you ain't have to worry about people saying nothing about your mama like that, it feels
I was
great
gonna
to know.
see. They used to say it to me because they couldn't say it to my mama. They knew that my mom, like, they weren't sure what she did, but they knew that she always had a little briefcase. She was always in either like a
Okay.
pantsuit or like a business skirt or something. So
Also,
they
she looked
knew.
like she was about business.
Right. And they had heard that my mom goes to court and she does stuff in court and that she was doing business trips. So they always thought of my mom as like who don't mess with her because she
Oh,
always walk like don't talk to me type of thing. So they'd be like, "What your mama mean? She fine? No, hey, Miss
oh,
Fine." She'd
see,
be
yeah,
like, "Hi." And they'd be like,
I would have been that one. I would have been that one to go up to try to start a conversation just because I know
"Oh."
she don't want to be talked to.
That was this dude Isaiah. This dude Isaiah used to always go and talk to my mama. He was the one. He used to walk her to the classes. Like, oh, I'll walk with you, Miss Bryce.
See,
I'll bring you over here, Miss Bryce. You looking for Elisa Lauren? I know where both their classes at. I'm like,
that's
why don't you find something to do? How about
it's
that?
look.
And
It's
she'd be like,
because
thank you,
everybody's so.
Isaiah. He'd be like, you're welcome.
Yeah, everybody else is so intimidated by her. I'm gonna be the one to stand out. They won't talk to you this way because they think, oh, I'm intimidated. She's a, she may be. No, I'm gonna talk to you like a person. Hey, how you doing?
Right,
Hey, how's
right.
it going? Yeah, what kind of
Right.
coffee you
And they'd
got?
be
That's the
like,
pumpkin
you look
spice.
nice. You look nice today. And my mom would be like,
I
thank
know
you.
what you mean by that.
Yeah, right. She's like, thank you. Where are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm going. Did you need help? No, thank you. I'm like,
See, I would have been like, I do
Mama.
need a little bit of help because it seemed like your number is not in my phone. I don't know what's
I'm,
going on with that. No, just like,
and you know what's crazy? I got that with my mom, and then I got the same with my dad. So my dad, light skin at the time,
oh,
had a little gold hoop earring, and he'd slick his hair back. It was all wavy, and he has like light hazel
and
eyes.
the girls like the older men. They go like the older men for sure.
Oh, all my friends would be like, "So, as your future stepmom, I would just like," and I'd be like, "Shut
Whoa,
up."
hold on
They'd be
now.
like, "Oh, no." I remember at the graduation party, one of my friends, Babel. I remember her, being like, she was like, "So happy 18th birthday to Elise, Mr. Ba. I turned 18 in February. I just want to wish you the happiest birthday." I was like, and my dad's like.
That was
I'm like,
that.
ah! No, and what's funny
Now that's
is
bold.
she was in my wedding. And why she bring it up again? She was like, again, still waiting to be that future stepmom of Elise, but I guess that's not going to happen. I'm like, oh my God,
Straight
leave my
shots. Hey,
dad alone. Even at the
at least she's
reunion, they were
about
like,
business.
Joe, we saw your dad. He's still fine. Like, he got cuter now that he's older. Because they would say that he look like Montel. What's
Montel
the
Jordan. Montel
No,
Jordan.
the one who does the talk show.
Yeah, the ball dude, right?
Yeah, Montel Williams or Montel.
Oh, William. I'm sorry, it is William. My bad.
Yeah, what? Yeah, but that's who my dad favors, and so that he's also been compared to like Gregory Hines, that tap dancer guy. But either way, they're always like, "What is look like Montel?" I'm like, he alright, like he cool,
Like, why y'all
he,
doing all this
he
about
cool,
my daddy?
right? He okay, he cool, he cool. No, but
I hope my daughter's friends don't be like that when they get older, because I am not gonna know how to respond to stuff like that. Because I'm gonna tell
listen,
them like, listen, my daughter is your age. Don't that mean something to you?
right, right. I'm like, I like it, but at the same time, we are Gemini, so it's gonna be like, well, thank you, but
It's thank you,
be
but yeah,
flattered.
but
Uh, you know,
of course I'm gonna be flattered. It's thank
I'm
you, but girl. My daughter is your
thank
age.
you.
I can't.
You know,
Like, girl, I'm old enough to be your daddy, literally.
right? Because you're my daughter's classmate. Why don't you go sit down somewhere?
Yeah, I can already hear my daughters now. Please leave my daddy alone. Please don't pump
Right?
that man head up
I
already
was
more
gonna
than what
say
it
you got
is.
the nerve to be social. That's what's gonna be your problem. Hey, buddy, showing up in your suit looking ass, talking about, hey,
They
hey,
told.
good morning,
I
everybody.
told him. I
Oh, you
said.
need something? I'll get that for you. Oh, he's so sweet.
I
Your
said if it
dad's so
wasn't.
nice.
I said if it wasn't for me having to be registered as a sex offender, you know how movies are when the parents show up to the kids' school in their underwear. I said that's only in the movie, right? To embarrass them. I can't do that in real life. If I wanted to be that funny in real
Right.
life, I'm going to jail and they making me sign up as a sex offender. Now I can't
No,
pick
and the
her up
thing
from school
about it
ever
is, I
again.
already know I'm gonna be just like my mama. As much as I want to say that I'd be nice and friendly, I already know I'm gonna be just like my mama because I'm a teacher. So I'm gonna be on that campus like, where you supposed to be? Well, you trying to talk to me? What class you supposed to be in? You know what?
Woo.
What grade you get on your test? Did you get? Let me see your paper. Oh, my sister say y'all
I
are
mean,
too wild, or you two are wild. Well, we just keep it in real,
I Lauren, don't
really
get me in
real.
trouble. I'm married. Can't be wild no more. I calmed down. I'm tamed. I
I
used to
was
be a
gonna
wild lion.
say,
Now I'm tamed.
Wanda got real tame. I done tamed out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Steph.
Shout
That's
out to Steph.
shout out to Steph. And Diamond, we have gone from lion and tiger to domesticated house cats.
Yes,
And
yes. I
yeah,
even cut all my fur off. I even cut all my fur off. Don't even got the
I
mane
was
no
gonna
more.
say I have a collar. Just living our
So,
days.
you know,
Enjoying. We still go outside, just not alone. We're not the alley cats no more.
exactly.
Um,
Instead of me going to strip clubs, I go to Applebee's.
yeah, I told Babe it's still a hot girl summer. Just come pick me up after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I tried to
I
tell.
still want to go out with my girls, but I gotta be home by
Yeah.
9 o'clock because Babe, you know what I mean?
I tried to tell her that I was still a city boy and that, that I would just, be home a little later than normal, but still not past my curfew.
Right,
And she told me you could be a city boy as long as you want, as long as you're in the house at 10 p.m. with your family. So I was
right.
like, okay, well, I guess I'll do it on lunch since I can't do it at night.
I was gonna say half the time,
Stripper
my
poles to
sister
monkey
said stripper
bars.
poles to monkey bars. I'm upset. No, it's more like stripper poles to more like body rolls. I just be in the living room, like hitting the body
Right.
roll for Babe. I'm like, yeah, do anything for you? No, no, Babe.
Oh,
Not.
Lauren she tried to play us. I'm sorry, that was a little funny. She tried to play us. Hey, listen,
That's
we are
okay. That's all right.
we are a lot better than we was last year. Okay, we have
Hey,
calmed
we
down a
still
lot since
cast me out. Let me tell.
you
I
know.
was gonna say we was reckless. Like we really need to have a show where we go back and we look at those old videos.
And just see
Reckless.
like, oh my
We was
goodness,
talking. It was Kanye. It was.
that's facts. That's exactly what it was. You know what's so funny? Last year when people asked me why was it so easy to be an asshole the whole year, like to be so mean without
Oh
having any
yeah,
regret,
Mr.
I said,
Toxic.
I
I don't
said,
give a fuck. Your name
I
is
said,
Thursday.
yes. I told him, I said, because I had that Kanye attitude all the
Right.
time. Like, if it didn't matter, if it wasn't benefiting me, if it didn't matter to me, I didn't give a fuck about it. That's why. That's
Right.
exactly why I was able to do it.
I
They're like,
know.
yeah.
We was hurt. That's because we was we was hurt.
You feel
We
me?
was doing that
Like,
shadow work. We was
hey,
trying to
listen, when you get
we was
hurt,
trying to work
you
on
know,
ourselves.
you know what I
Um,
mean? I may have damaged myself a little bit more before I started to improve doing it that way. But man, I tell you, the results are
right. Shout
phenomenal.
out to past Ho Elise and Ho Marquand. Back in like the sex worker days,
Oh,
doing our ho shit.
I miss the
We was
sex
for
worker
the
days.
streets.
I
We
miss the
was for the
sex worker
streets.
days.
It's growth.
It is, but I used to make some
Look,
good little money on the side. That's girl.
look, look.
Hey, Lauren, you're right. Yeah. Now I gotta, you know,
Now we got the nerve to be mushy. We just be talking about our partners all the time. Oh,
yeah.
I love them so
Hey,
much.
if
He's
it
so
works, if it
sweet.
helps, I'm a private porn star now. You see? Hi, only my wife gets to see it. Yeah,
I
that.
was gonna
I'm okay
say,
with that.
I was, I was just telling Steph, I was all like, you know what? I'm actually like, as much as I had my moments of like being on my own, it's so nice to come home and have Steph there. Like, it is really, really nice to have somebody. Like, as soon as
Look,
it's just like, hi, nice to
I
see you too.
swear, not even with that though. Like even with just a partner, it's so nice to be able to know that you got somebody to talk to or vent or to express yourself to about if you're having a rough day. But not even, well, of course, you can't relate just yet, but hopefully soon.
And we're the
And it's
twin
even
signs. So like we actually like companionship. As much
companionship.
as people
Exactly.
say that Geminis have issues with commitment, we're actually natural people that like companionship. Like it just is
You
natural for
know?
us. And being an actual twin, like I actually didn't realize how much I missed it, until because I had been living with Ashley and it was like awesome. And like I said, I could always live with someone.
Yeah.
Living alone was nice before the but for that moment, like those 3 months were nice, but when I was very very much so happy to have someone else in the house. It's just like
I understand.
because we we can be very independent and we try to take care of everything. And that
Yeah.
other person is usually there to be like, all right, I got like,
Calm down.
give me
I
some.
got this part. Yeah, that's what she told me. Because I'm natural. I like to go back to the old ways. I want to go traditional ways. So yes, I want to pay all the bills. Yes, I want to take care of the family. Yes, I don't want you spending your money. So when you tell me that you want to pay a bill, I'm looking at you like you disrespecting me, because to me that's not right. That doesn't seem right.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's something I'm learning. It is great to finally be in the household, to be a full time parent all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought having them 2 or 3 days out the week was amazing. Having them every day is just, it's frustrating too, but it's still amazing. So I will say
Right.
that. Still amazing. But it's just, even with my partner, we it's like you learn so much more when both of you are actually willing to try. It's so much easier to learn and
And
understand each
it's
other.
nice for you guys to see how each other parent. Because
Yeah.
you guys don't really, like, you didn't really get to see that in
Oh yeah, we
separate spaces. And
and
so
we
it's
have
like,
two completely different parenting styles,
yeah.
completely different. So
Oh my
definitely.
God, that should be the next show topic because I definitely want to hear about that because
Oh
I
yeah.
came from a split household. It started out together and then like split. So I remember how they were together, but then when they split and became parents, their styles like they both changed their styles. Neither one of them stayed the same.
Yeah, and it's
And
just
it was
because
a
you got
lot
to
of
make
fun
those
as a kid.
alterations. Yeah, you got to make those
Yeah.
changes based on certain
Um,
situations.
we actually are down to the wire. We got just a couple of, well, actually now
Yeah,
we got like 1 minute
I got
left.
1 minute left.
Um, yeah, so let's make sure we do all our plugs. You can find the handsome and happily taken, excuse me, married Marquand Thomas on Facebook under Marquand Thomas. You can also find him on Instagram under Just Quani,
Two S's.
JusQuanni, no
There you
E.
go.
Okay. And you can
Perfect.
also keep up with all his family shenanigans with the Thompson family, two E's, like Megan the
Thomas.
Stallion, on Instagram as well. So check out that for their adorable children.
Three
And you can
E's.
finally put a face to, to all the names and stories.
Facts. And you can
Right.
also find my beautiful co-host here as well on Facebook as Elise Elaine. Of course, Elise Elaine. Make sure you separate those words. It's not just one, because y'all tend to get that confused. Secondly, this is one word. Her Instagram is the Marilyn with melanin. Of course, you know I'll do it every time. Hear me again. Hear it out. And let me say it. It's the Marilyn with melanin. So definitely go ahead and make sure y'all hit her up and follow her on the socials as well as our show, Two of a Kind, on Facebook. It's Two of a Kind, the number two spelled out. And then we have Instagram and Twitter, which is Two Oak Radio. You can
All
definitely
right.
find us.
And
All
you
right.
guys know you can find us here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on the
On the
hottest
hottest
radio
radio
station.
station on the planet, Hot
Yes.
702.5 FM.
All right. Peace, love,
And hair grease.
and sneezes. I love you guys. I love
Love
y'all.
y'all. See
See
y'all
y'all
next
next
week.
week.
Bye.
Bye.